Hello students, I welcome you back in the last part of the sources of business finance, that is raising funds from the financial institutions. In our earlier video, we have gone through the commercial banks, the financial institutions and commercial banks. There is no hard and fast difference between the commercial banks and the financial institutions. Financial institution, commercial banks is also a part of the financial institutions, but from the content of syllabus point of view, we have to do it. Actually, that in the syllabus it is mentioned that raising funds from commercial banks and financial institutions, but the material is approximately same. If with the commercial, whatever merits or limitation of a commercial bank is there, the same is the limit, same will be the limitation from financial institution. But just have a look on the financial institutions. I'm going to repeat. The financial institutions means the institutions which are helping the business or in the persons of the society in raising the loans as well as investing their money or keeping safeguard of their money. So banks, when we talk about the banks, these are the traditional financial agencies. But when we talk about the financial institutions, we consider development banks like HDFC, ICICI, IDBI, HDFC, that Housing Development Finance Corporation. ICI is Industrial Credit and Investment Corporation of India. So these are the, nowadays the financial institution is much wider. That is Kotak Mahindra, maybe there, SBI mutual funds are there, as well as SBI Life, in the field of life insurance is there. So getting finance from these institutions for the longer duration fulfill your requirement for the expansion, reorganization and modernization of the enterprise. So whenever we talk about the financial institution, the commercial banks as well as developmental banks means any of the institution from where a businessman or an individual can get assistance in the field of finance, that will be a financial institution. Let us study about the merits and limitations of these institutions. Merits of financial institutions. These institutions provide long-term finance. As we have studied earlier, that these institutions provide long-term finance. But one main difference with the financial institution and commercial bank is that commercial banks, they provide medium-term finance and financial institutions provide the long-term finance. And these institutions also provide financial, managerial and technical advice in the case of it is needed by the firms. It means they provide the consultancy to the business firms. Then obtaining loan from financial institution increases the goodwill, that it becomes matter of reputation that yes, I have taken the loan from this particular reputed institution. And if the particular reputed financial institution provides the loan, then other institutions also provide the loan. They do not hesitate in providing the loan. As per the loan can be repaid in the easy installments. When a business feels that now the funds are not needed, that they can return the funds raised from these institutions. And in the situation of depression, while the economy is not rising, or we can say that nowadays in the situation of COVID-19, that there is no business, or the business transactions are being done in little quantity, and we need of the funds, that we can easily approach to the financial institutions. But with all these merits, raising of funds from the financial institutions suffer from many limitations. The limitations are they provide the rigid criteria of granting of loan. Too many formalities make the procedure time consuming and expensive because the assets are to be mortgaged, lots of legal formalities are there, and second is they put the restriction on the dividend payment. The financial institution, they put the restriction that no, in while till the business possesses the loan from this financial institution, the institution will not distribute any kind of dividend. Such kind of restrictions are being put. The another one is financial institutions may have nominees on the board of directors or the borrowings of company, thereby restricted means in the while some meeting is there, annual the business is to be create, businesses to do apni annual journal meetings, statutory meetings. In that meetings, that financial institution asks the company to have their nominees like board of directors, and you know that board of directors are the important persons who take the decisions in the company's day-to-day activities, or major decisions are being taken in the meeting of board of directors. So these are the few limitations. With these limitations, we are having a business can raise the loan from the international market also, and from the international market there are the two ways that it can raise the loan, that is global depository receipt and American depository receipt. Now, first question is, what is depository? The depository means where the shares are being held in the electronic form. As you know, that nowadays that the companies they issue, when the companies issue the shares, these shares are not in the physical form, these shares are in the electronic form, and in the electronic form these shares are deposited in a depository. Means a and depository is just like a bank. Bank is an institution where the money can be kept for the in the safe custody or for the purpose of safety. In this way, depository is that institution where the shares can be held in the electronic form. So global depository receipts, let us study about the global depository receipt. So it is said that the local currency shares of a company are delivered to a depository bank. Means रिलायंस ने कोई शेयर्स इशू किए हैं तो वो शेयर जो है वो डिपॉजिटरी में डिपॉजिट है. अब ये जो डिपॉजिटरी है, दीज डिपॉजिटरीज जब कंपनीज के शेयर अपने पास होल्ड करती है तो जिस कंपनी के शेयर्स होते हैं उन कंपनी को नेचुरली एज ए प्रूफ एक रिसिप्ट देगी. It will give na that receipt ki yes, your shares are being kept with us, and these receipts are sometimes denominated in US dollars. ये जो receipts हैं किस किस फॉर्म में हो सकती हैं? US डॉलर के फॉर्म में हो सकती हैं, and these US dollars can be used in further taking the loan, and these US dollars are known as these receipts in the form of US dollars are known as the global depository receipt, and these can be freely traded in against any of the security. And in Indian context, if I talk about, so GDR, that is global depository receipt, is the instrument issued abroad by an Indian company टू रेज फंड्स. एक इंडियन कंपनी को इशू किया गया है ये रिसीप्ट, सो दैट ये इंडियन कंपनी इन रिसीप्ट्स के अगेंस्ट जो है वो लोन ले सके, फंड्स रेज कर सके, और डेफिनेटली दीज रिसीप्ट्स आर ट्रेडेड इन द फॉरेन स्टॉक एक्सचेंज. These the person, the holder of GDR, can anytime convert these receipt into the number of shares it represent. But one major point is to be taken care here that the holder of GDR do not carry any voting right. As you know, the shares they carry the voting right, but the holder of GDR does not carry the voting right. So Reliance, Wipro and ICI have raised money through the issue of these GDRs. The next one is American depository receipt. The American depository receipt is just equivalent to GDR, but only difference is that ADRs can be bought or sold in the American markets like regular stock exchanges. It is just similar to GDRs. The only difference is that it can be traded, that means it can be bought and sold in the American market, and it can be issued it only to the American citizens. In this way, that Indian depository receipt, so Indian depository receipt is a financial instrument which is denominated in Indian rupee. GDR was denominated in US dollar, but Indian depository receipt is denominated in Indian rupee in the form of depository receipt, and from here it enables a foreign company to raise funds in the Indian security market. So it's all for this chapter. Thank you.